Hi everyone, I'm at Colonel Sam Smith Park. It's day 2 of the 250 bird challenge for 2023, where I try to see 250 birds this year. Gonna see if we can tick off a few more from the list. It's January 2nd today. It's about 3 or 4 degrees centigrade. If you hadn't seen my first video, I set myself the challenge of trying to see 250 birds this year. We saw 25 in the first video. We're going to see if we can add some more. It's one of the most abundant birds, but we haven't seen an American robin yet, but I think I just heard one, but we'll continue looking around. So far we just saw some mallards out on the pond. A few other photographers here this morning. They were heading straight for Lake Ontario or perhaps the marina, so we'll take a look there at some point too. In the meantime, it's a little bit quiet, but hopefully we'll have a bit of a breakout. The same thing happened yesterday. It started out a little bit quiet, but then we had an abundance. Out on the lake this morning we have some red-breasted mergansers way out. We can just about see there are some common goldeneyes. And you said you saw some swans?
2 mute swans.
2 mute swans, even further out than that. Quite placid this morning. Okay, we're going to push on further around the lake, see what else is here. Somebody did record snow buntings yesterday, which would be a first of the year for us, and a bird we haven't seen too often. We have lots of black-capped chickadees in the trees here. A couple of cardinals just flew past us. All of those are birds we saw yesterday though, so we keep on. Came down here on a hunch. It's kind of a frozen marina here, and reports of snowy owls in previous years, but I've never seen it. But we have now. There's one perched up on top of one of the posts over there on the pole.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Here's a tip for when you're looking for an owl. Here's one of the signs to look out for. What a beauty, pleased with that. Okay, so far we have 2 new species, snowy owl, long-tailed duck. I've seen a lot of the things that we saw yesterday, but that's no surprise.
last video I talked about how water birds look quite different at different times of year.
This horned grebe is grey and drab looking during the winter, but during the breeding season it will have a black head and sweeping golden brown feathers that form into tufts that look a bit like horns, after which it is named. Excuse the shaky footage, these birds were quite far away, but we were next treated to a courtship display between some red-breasted mergansers. They would bob down into the water, come back up again and raise their heads. Occasionally the males would race towards the females. We only saw it briefly, but this American pipit is a lifer, a bird we have never seen before. We got talking to another birder when suddenly I saw a raptor fly by. After a closer look at it, we saw that it was a bald eagle.
Good first list of the year.
Okay everyone, I think that just about does us. Quite pleased with today. Particularly liked the bald eagle, and the pipit is a lifer for us both. We added 5 or 6 species today, you'll see on the screen. I just have to kind of confirm a couple of things we saw. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a subscribe, hit the red subscribe button. If you hit the bell icon, you'll get notifications when I post new videos. Also check out my website, birdwatching.com, and you can follow along with this challenge with a bit more information on some of the trips that I take and what I see. And Sarah thinks that she's just seen a robin. Just as we were leaving, we saw a couple more common species, but species that were firsts for this year. First up, some house finches.
Here comes a couple more to join them.
These can be found year-round in Ontario, south of the boreal forest.
Yeah, you can see the red.
The male has a red breast and head with brown streaked body. The female is brown streaked all over. Second, one of the most abundant bird species and the most widely distributed bird in the world, the house sparrow. This is a male, it has a black bib and generally darker colouring than the female. There's just a couple more species to tell you about. I didn't catch these on video, but we also saw a common raven fly overhead, cawing. Way out on the lake, we also saw a common loon. It's either a juvenile or it might be an adult in winter plumage, but here's a picture of it. In the breeding months, they have more elaborate black and white colouring. And finally, before I go, here's a list of everything we saw today. Altogether, we saw 23 species, but don't forget our species count only goes up when we see a new bird for this year. So of the 23 that we saw today, 12 of them were new. That takes our total count to 37 out of the 250 that we need. Stay tuned to my channel to see if I can complete this challenge. Consider subscribing, it really helps the channel and I appreciate that. I also appreciate you clicking the like button, and I really enjoy chatting to you, so I'd love to hear your comments down below. Lastly, take a look at my website where you can find more content, birdwatching.com. Thanks for watching, happy birding.